and man became a living soul. Hashem breathed into man's nostrils the out-breath of God into the in-breath of man. Man became a living soul. That original out-breath is the zimzum of Hashem into the empty stomach of the man, into the Tibor area, the umbilical cord, the belly button. It became full. This is through the nose, through the level of Yetzirah, the Vav, that at this level is a Yud. Remember, the difference between Judaism and some other religions is that in Judaism there's a physicality. It's a spiritual physicality. In Judaism, we don't separate ourselves from the physical, bodily sensations. In a certain sense, our third temple will be the body. This physicality is expressed as the second level of Olam Haba, the first level of being the spiritual level, and in the second level of Olam Haba, the resurrection of the dead body. In a certain sense, the first level of Olam Haba is only soul, and then in the second level of Olam Haba, there's a stirring, and the body is resurrected. In the first level of Olam Haba, there's a soul within a dead body. And then the second level, the body is stirred to resurrection and completion. And then the real name applies of Yud Hey, where the spiritual is down here into the physical as a mirror image. This can be best expressed through the breath into the body. Now, as I've said, other cultures have in previous videos, I've said that other cultures have extended this to, well, the word pranayama comes to mind, the Indian meditations of breathing exercises. Remember, we use the nose for breathing. Different methodologies of breathing. But the main one is that we breathe into the full belly and exhale, actually still using the nose, into the empty belly. Full belly, empty belly. And this mirrors Hashem's function of fullness that he starts off with and then makes room for creation by emptiness. And that's the zimzum, leaving the empty space to be refilled. This is the Jewish opus of physicality, of the spiritual domain. How to conquer the Yetzer Hara of the physicality. The difference between Judaism and other religions is that Judaism's fight is done by prayer. Judaism's fight, there's an external fight, but there's also an internal fight. In Arabic, one calls it a jihad. There's an external jihad, but there's also an internal jihad. Now, they really have that in Islam, but in Judaism, we're not looking for external war. We know where that war comes from. It comes from in the internal Yetzer Hara of the person. So what we're looking to do is ritually kill the Yetzer Hara. We do this by study and by prayer. One of the things I believe in is to say Psalms as the bow and arrow. Saying of Psalms wipes out one's Yetzer Hara. All this is how to overcome physicality. The Yetzer Hara within physicality. To keep yourself in get yourself to a rebirth level where the soul can live as one with the body. So I propose a bodily Judaism, a little bit more physical here for the 21st century. A yoga, a athletics, a stretching, an understanding of the body from the Eitz HaChaim diagram of Kabbalah. An understanding of the center pillar, like the yoga chakra channels. A little bit more physical for our age. Since Judaism these days is a diaspora Judaism. It's in these other countries anyway. So the adjustments have to be made. They're actually physical and bodily adjustments. So one has to breathe into the stomach, feel the umbilical cord area, breathe out, fullness in, emptiness out. There's actually a frame there in the stomach which is almost square, like a final mem. And then the stomach is like a roundness, like a samach, that goes in and out. And the inner point is an aleph. So the frame always is there, even when it's in or out. And then the internal in fills up like a ball within the mem, like a sphere, like a full-size samach, or just a regular samach itself. And then when you exhale and there's nothing there, it empties to the square frame of the mem. And the only thing that may still remain is a small point, an aleph point. And then the fullness. Other countries call that a hara point, a chai point, we can call it. The bottom of this touches the genital area and gets stirred. That's why in my diagram the aleph is in the lower part of the ball. These are just some musings I throw out to you so you can find this area yourself. And he breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. Some of the gematria for that, like Neshmas Hayim, became a living soul. It's 858 plus 2 words plus 1, that's 861. That just happens to be Ein Sof, Aleph Samech, and then the quotation mark with a final pay. All these great mysteries are revealed in the breath, through the nose, and from the Ruach area, and that's the soul. And remember, we changed that Ruach area from a Vav to a Yud in the final spelling of Yud Hey, which is the spelling of the Yud K Vav K in Olam Haba, as we prepare for the resurrection of the dead, where the body itself comes to life as part of a soul, where there's no distinction between body and soul. In the 5th stage, in the tip of the Yud of the Yud of the first Yud, there's a soul that comes back down, but the body is still dead. The 2nd stage, the body is resurrected. And that's the tip, that's the Yud of the Vav, where the Vav disintegrates, the bottom of the Vav falls off like a stage of a rocket ship that's no longer needed. And it becomes a Yud. And it becomes Yud Hey. Yud times Hey, 50. Yud plus Yud times Hey, 50. And that's 100. And that's the age of Avraham, when he had Yitzhak. And that's the age of completion. And then we go one more beyond completion. And that's the story of Judaism. And that's how we're going to start and approach it from here on out.